Hey folks, today we're going to get I don't even know what to call it. The cross wires, the stays, the bracing, the wire bracing for the corner sets, and all completed on this entrance to the tiny home. My dad's over there getting ready to paint the hardy plank on the bottom of the steps. We got some bad weather coming next week. It's all going to be rain. It's going to be cold. So we're trying to get all this done. This is the quandary I'm in though. I've got to tighten these wires here, and I'll switch these out with rebar. I put these in when I first moved up here. But you see how I doubled up the wires? I think I'm going to try to do it. I had a recommendation from one of our subscribers. He said, man, you ought to just try to do it one wire. You're wasting wire. So I'm going to attempt to do this with one wire around it. And he even referenced some other guys on YouTube that have that real thin, it's almost like electric. I don't know what gauge it is, 12 gauge, 10 gauge, something like that. But what we're going to be using is this non-barb 12.5 gauge wire. So we're going to put those on the corner sets. We're going to attempt to get all the bracing that we did in the last video. We're going to try to get all those tied in so we can pull fence maybe tomorrow. And I know you guys heard me talking in the last video about my wife getting another rescue dog because she thinks ours needs a companion. Well, guess what? We got an appointment to go pick this dog up, see if it fits the family tomorrow. And we're going to be excited to introduce her to you. Speaking of rescue dogs, there he is. What's up, Rex? What's up, bud? What's up? Watch the wire. Don't hurt your foot on the wire. Yep, that's Rex. Y'all come on and join us. We'll get this done, and hopefully we'll complete this fence along the roadway by the end of the week. All right, so I'm gonna have to go underneath this wire that's here because this whole fence is coming down, like I said before, and this cross bracing on the T's coming down because this whole fence is coming out here. So I'm gonna have to go underneath that wire, and hopefully I can feed it around as close as I can. And that wasn't bad at all, doing it like that. So usually I would tie this off here and I'd work that wire around twice. But since I'm gonna be doing it once, I'm gonna try to give enough slack that I can wrap the tie around at the top. So after I staple it, we can still have enough slack to tie it off up here. So what I did was I put a screw in here to help hold this wire up, wrapped it around the pole, and I'm just temporarily wrapping it around this wire. Now I'm going to take this other wire, pull it up, bring it around this way. I'm going to cut it, and then I'm going to tie it on that wire. And then hopefully we can just use that wire, one wire, to tighten our set. So that wire is going through, coming up, wrapping around. And this wire here, I'm going to try to pull it as tight as I can back through that fence, get the slack out. This is going to come up over that screw. And then I want to get enough slack to come around and wrap on this other wire here, the wire that's going down. All right. All right, so now it's all about getting as much slack as I can get out, bringing it as tight to the pole as I can get it, and trying to do a halfway decent wrap. I'm gonna wrap it about between 4 and 6 times. Man, I've seen some guys on YouTube that are professionals, and they are amazing at this fencing. All right, so this is the original wire. I'm gonna try to get as much slack coming back this way as I can and do the same thing. Now I'm gonna use my staple gun. This is the DeWalt 20 volt stapler. I'll put those two together. Put a staple in it on this backside by the screw. Do that. See how loose that is? Let's pray this tightens up as good as it does when I pull it through twice. Okay, so knowing that I'm going to take this wire off of here, because that whole part's coming down, like I said before, I'm going to go over the wire that's going down to this post over here, and I'm going to come under this wire, and then this wire that's going down will help hold this up. Bring it in, wrap it real good there. Just going to go ahead and wrap this up. I'm going to use the other end to come around the top again. If you guys like it pretty on fencing, it ain't going to be pretty here. All right, just like on the other side or the top side, I put a screw in the bottom, and that screw is going to help hold that down where I want the wire to be. I'm going to go ahead and try to, since I tied it off already, pull some of that slack. See how much I need over here. A lot of this wire is coming off this pole. All right, so our first wire that we put on was this one. So what we want to do is put our rebar in here. I'm telling you what I do. Y'all might not like this, but then I just start twisting it until it pulls it tight and gets all the slack out. You got to be real careful, because if you mishandle it and it spins around, it's going to cut you open. And you notice how I left one end longer than the other. That's because when I finish wrapping and I get it as tight as I want it, it's going to capture it behind this here. I have never used those ratcheting tighteners, and I sure would like to try to use those one day. See how tight that is? That's good and tight right there. That rebar it'll be here forever. All right, so this is going to be the same thing, doing the same thing on the opposite wire. We're going to finish it out here because I do not want to break it. That probably can go a couple more times. There we go. And that's how you do it. Just like that. And this corner is set, with the exception of my terrible tying up on top. Turned out pretty good with just using it one wrap. So I think I'm going to do that on all of them. All right, so it's going to be just like before down there, except we don't have to go through any fence. which should speed us up a little bit. So I'm gonna wrap the opposite way because I want it to catch on the inside of the fence, not that outside. So done. Next one. On to the next. Next one. Staple it, move on to the next one. Well, how bad's my face cut? Well, I cut myself in the face and it won't stop bleeding, but I gotta keep putting the fence up. A little bit more and we'll be done. Well, a bit of blood. Not bad. Staple it, move to the next one. Staple it, move on to the next one. All right, folks, there it is in the corner. Then we got our turn finished right here. We got the set that's next to where our gate set's going to be is done. And the same thing on this side here. Turn right there. And then the tie-in down there on the corner right there. All right, folks, so that's going to do it on this one. We got all the crosswire done on the bracing. The next thing, we got to pull fence. We appreciate you guys sticking with us. We'll see you next time. Live in Texas, Hidden Spring Farm. You guys have a blessed day.